Hello YouTube friends, welcome. Today is Saturday the 3rd of August and the time is around 11:20 a.m. I'd like to apologize in advance because I am a little bit hungover today. But I thought a nice walk would do me good. My voice might be a bit gravelly, but yeah, there you go. I wasn't supposed to get a bit drunk yesterday, but sometimes that stuff happens. Yeah, I had a good time with some friends, drank some really nice wine, and today I'm getting punished for that. Yeah, that's the way it is. Anyways, welcome to another walk in the Danish summer. I would say it's around 23-5 degrees. It's actually not too bad. It's not too humid today, so it's still a little hotter than I like, but it's alright. Today we're going to visit a cemetery. Like I said, I'm kind of hungover, so I need a little bit of peace and quiet. Let me take a picture here. Give me a second, guys. We're not entering through the main entrance today, but we're going here. Yeah, you can't bicycle here, so tourists don't care apparently. Anyways, alright, I'm losing my thread here today. My train of thought. This is called Assistens Kierkegaard, or in English, Assistens Cemetery. Why is it called that? I'll get back to that a little later. Quite a few famous people are buried here, so it's kind of a famous cemetery. It's kind of big, so we won't have time to visit all the famous people today, and I wouldn't even know where to find them. It would take all day. My camera don't have that much power in it. I'm probably too hungover to be outside all day. Anyways, I'm thinking at least we're gonna visit 3 or 4 graves. Most famous person perhaps is Hans Christian Andersen, author. I guess mostly famous in Denmark, but he is somewhat internationally famous as well, so some of you guys might know him. He wrote a lot of fairy tales that you can read as a kid and understand. And also, if you read them as an adult, they have maybe a deeper meaning. So I think a lot of his stories are really well written and really clever. And you can also read them as a kid. Stories like, which one should I use as an example? The Emperor's New Clothes, The Ugly Duckling, just to mention a couple. Anyway, so the beginning of the tour here, we're just gonna walk around a little, randomly, and I guess towards the second half of the tour, I'm gonna try if I can locate at least 3 famous people as mentioned, Hans Christian Andersen, and another famous Danish philosopher, author called Søren Kierkegaard. He's also buried here somewhere. And finally, another famous Dane, this time a physicist, called Niels Bohr, or Niels Bohr, or however you want to pronounce it in English. He was chums with Einstein. They had different views on different things, so they had a lot of discussions. Chaos or not chaos. I will not go into details, I am not clever enough for that. But as usual, in the description I'll post a few links, both for the cemetery and also these aforementioned persons. Well, I guess people, not persons. We have a few times passed through here. Some of you might recognize this view. Let me just take a picture here also, guys. Hang on. Yeah. Let's go a little up here and then to the left. Anyway, so what do I know about this cemetery? Again, with me, as per usual, it's the broad strokes, the big picture. Like I said, I'll post a link, so if you want to know more details, you can dig into it. The cemetery was established in 1760 something. Back then it was outside the city walls of Copenhagen. So it was built, that's why it's called the Assistens Cemetery, because all the cemeteries within the city walls back then were overfilled. So they decided to establish a big lot outside the city walls to assist the need for more space for graveyards, or grave places, cemetery places, whatever it's called in English. So that's why it's called the Assistens Cemetery. Established in, like I said, 1760 something. Try to go this way. Like I said in the beginning of the trip here at the walking tour today, we're gonna walk around a little randomly. Anyways, but back then when they established the cemetery, it was mostly for poor people who were of no consequence because they didn't have room inside the city. But at some point, or I would reckon some point during the 19th century, the city had grown, and for some reason, I don't know the details around this, but for some reason it became more it became a place where you would where you know, people of influence would love to be buried. So the cemetery, I think it's, I'm not even sure if you can still get buried here. I'm not sure. But it changed status at some point from, you know, for poor people, and then all of a sudden, you know, people of influence and celebrity. And the three aforementioned are not the only ones here that is of some status and celebrity. There are lots of them. And I actually tried looking into finding a guide who could help me do this walking tour, a person with some more knowledge than me. And I tried, but I couldn't, not even if I wanted to pay for it. People didn't want to do it when it's on video. So it'll just be me And it's a bit of a pity because I'm sure there are lots of great stories in this cemetery and lots of not just, you know, the celebrities, but in total. And a person with expertise would be able to find all these celebrities. I won't. So yeah, you'll have to settle for me. Sometimes you'll find people, obviously not on top of the graves, but in all the grassy areas, you will find people sunbathing here in the summer. It's a wee bit cloudy today, so maybe that's why there's nobody around. Or maybe it's too early. Maybe everybody else is hungover like me. Because it's a big cemetery, so a person with knowledge would probably be able to tell stories about, you know, which parts are the oldest and stuff like that. Yes, I actually really tried to find some expert that could help me do this tour, but when people hear video, all declined. And oh yeah, and as you can see from on the other side of the wall here, we're in the neighbourhood Nørrebro in Copenhagen. It's actually not too far from where I live, so that's nice and convenient when you're hungover. Unlike the main path, street, or whatever it's called, with all the trees we saw up earlier, you are allowed to ride your bicycle there. Be mindful, obviously, of all the people walking, but you are allowed to ride your bicycle there. But in the smaller paths like this, you're not. And I guess most people do respect that, but there are always some, pardon my language, morons who doesn't respect it. I wonder if I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube. I guess we'll find out. Tourists again. Oh, you can. Okay, you can ride your bicycle here. Just not a moped. There's a sign here that says where you can do it. Yeah, okay, so it's the two main paths that you're allowed to. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, hang on, here's a map, let me check it out. Alright. This looks like some older unattended graves. I wonder if it's only relatives who can take care of graves, and if they're old enough there are no relatives perhaps. Or is it like a city thing that the city has to do it? I wonder. This looks like it could need a some TLC here, yeah. It's the one with the snake eating itself. I don't remember what it's called. This is also really knackered. Looks like scrolls or something. Let's go in here, see what we can see. It's feeling like a junk food kind of day today. We had some excellent German white wines yesterday though. Some really lovely Rieslings, which for me is perfect in the summer when it's kind of hot. Also some Gewürztraminer. Was that what we had? Rieslings and Gewürztraminer, I think it was actually. Alright, but I think we're on the right track towards our first celebrity here. At least according to this sign here. So let's see if we can find him. I think, if I remember correctly, I have visited the grave before. It's a few years ago. Oh. I think we found it, guys. Hang on, give me a second. No, it is. Yeah, it's right over here. I found it. let me just take a picture of this tree and we can go visit it. Hang on. Alright, I'll just take a picture of the grave as well. People drawing it, but it's right here. So that's one down. Like I said, he was a philosopher. I have read a little bit when I was younger, perhaps probably too young to understand, but maybe I should dig into it now that I'm a little older. I mean, he's Danish, I'm Danish, so I probably should. Alright, to be able to find the last two grave sites, I need to get back to the main path to be able to find it. I don't have a great sense of direction, so I need to, get back to my baseline. And how do we get back there? This way, I think we're on the right track. But I know that musicians and stuff like that is buried here too, but like I said, yeah, I was hoping to get a bit of help, but alas, it didn't happen. This way. I'm really excellent at getting lost. I guess that's half the fun, isn't it? Oh yeah, here we go. Just take a picture of this also, guys. Hang on. There we go. Oh, here's a famous one. Let me take a picture of this. I don't know that much about her. It's not my kind of music, but she was a very talented musician. She died young in a car crash. She was maybe, I don't know how old she was. Oh, it says on the gravestone right there. She was in a car crash in Jamaica, if I remember correctly, at least in the Caribbean somewhere. And yeah, everybody said that she was, it's not my kind of music, so I don't know the details, but everybody said she was a huge talent. Okay, hang on. I know that Niels Bohr is around here somewhere. See if we can find him, because Hans Christian is behind us. Pardon. I thought it was. Oh, I think it's over here with the. Is that supposed to be an owl or something? Hang on. We'll get there in a second. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, he speaks English. Good for us, huh?
1890.
It was actually made for his father.
Yeah, she took care of us and me when we were small kids.
Yeah, in the summer, in their summer house. Du er i familie med ham der, Mads?
Yes.
Ja. But you know, his father, he died when he was in his 50s.
All right. When there are kids around, I don't want to film too much because, yeah, I find that a bit creepy. But yes, that was the grave place of Niels Bohr, famous physician, Danish physician. No, not physician, physicist. Physicist was the word I was looking for. All right, let's go check out Hans Christian. I'm taking a detour, so I will probably get lost. Yeah, I should have taken the road that I knew. Hang on, there's a sign down there. No, let's be adventurous. Let's just try to see if we can find it this way. Oh man, I'm having the cold sweats right now. Oh. Oy. Well, there's a few people over here. Maybe we found it. We did, but there are lots of people, so let's hang about for a sec so we can get a decent shot without filming people's privacy. Maybe I'll just cut it and then... Oh no, I think they're leaving now. Alright, we found it. Let's move on, guys.
Læste deres løse, så man at sætte grænser for, at skubbe den væk, ligesom ikke, og at man ikke skulle blande sig i medicin. Det skulle være helt forvirret, og så kørte den over.
You know what, guys? I think we're gonna so I don't get run over. I think we're gonna end the trip here. I'm gonna go home and tend to my hangovers, but as per usual, thank you for hanging out. Push all the buttons if you haven't already, and take care of yourself until we see each other next week. Bye guys.